Hey there everybody, it's Wayne D. Welcome to the website, WayneD.com, site for serious golfers. And since the British Open is going to start, I thought I'd pay a little tribute to a past British Open winner, Bob Charles. 1963, Charles took the title in a playoff with Phil Rogers. Charles won over 70 tournaments in his life. He's 81, he's still around. He won 23 times on the Champions Tour, and he's a great ball striker and a very good putter. So I wanted to just go over real quick. Very interesting looking swing. First of all, you ever seen a guy with legs this long? I mean, his legs are like 4/5 of his body. I always love to watch these old drivers that look like 3-woods. I mean, you literally can't take one of those old persimmon drivers and tee it up low enough the first time you look at it, if you haven't hit one in a while. I still have a couple of them. Now the face-on view here does not start exactly at the beginning of the swing, so it's kind of hard to tell if he's moved at all, but it doesn't appear that he has any great trigger motion here. So when we watch his body movement here, we get a pretty good picture of what's going on. This is a still camera and it's right in front of him. So you see a definite load to the left in his case. If we flip this around to righty, you can see that definitely a little slide. But now this is classic for the 60s, which how he stays behind the ball. But what's really cool here is let's go back to Lefty. Watch this impact. Man, when I saw this is what inspired me to do this video. How good is that? It's like pure. When you look at Dustin Johnson and Spieth and Koepka and these guys, I mean, this is kind of what you're seeing these days. You're seeing this straight line up the shaft through the lead arm past the ball. The other interesting thing here is the way he lifts his front heel, or this is the way Hogan did it. It just barely comes off the ground. So this is the way I would suggest to most people if they're going to let that heel come up, which I think is a decent idea as long as it's not lifted and you don't get heavy on your toes. Just a little bit, and then when it hits the ground, it goes right back where it was. If anything, it'll go a little forward. So you can see it. His lead arm's parallel to the ground. He's just short of 90 here, and he gets a really beautiful wide action at the top. Nice wrist set. Club's perfectly parallel. Watch this thing drag now. Now that's some pretty serious lag. So if you watch his trail arm, his left arm in this case, you can see it's still away from the body when the lead arm's parallel to the ground, and then you can see the upper arm connect in when the arm gets down in the 45-degree range, and then watch this thing just drag into the ball. So you know he's hitting bullets. But if you watch, you'll see how much his head is going to be back behind it. So with the hands forward on his driver like that, he's definitely got his head way back there. If you watch Charles Schwartzel, you'll see similar action with the head back and the hands forward, hitting that tee shot. Look how gorgeous that is. So look at it from down the line. He's got a definite outward movement in the backswing. You can see how the club head stays well outside of his hands. So you'd think it would get a little across the line, but he holds on to it and then flattens it. So most of the time when the takeaway is out away from the body, you'll see a slight drop of the hands from where they are. You can see they go down a little bit, but that shaft flattens, and that trail arm is going to get right in front of him. So in this swing, does not appear that his front heel comes off the ground much at all. Pretty free leg movement on the way through. Look how open that is. A super high finish. And the other thing about Charles, I didn't have a picture of it, but the guy had about as pure a putting stroke as you're ever going to see. So here's the swing. Righty. Play this one righty one more time for you. Alright, so there you go. Former British Open champ, and worthy of some inspection. Great player, Bob Charles. From New Zealand, forgot to say. Also, it's interesting to note the first lefty ever to win a major, and the first lefty inducted into the Hall of Fame.